Right now, thousands of brand new condos are sitting completely empty across Metro Vancouver. Not because people don't need homes. Not because the buildings aren't finished. They're done. They're built. The lights just aren't on. According to CMHC, that's the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, roughly 2,500 newly completed condos were sitting unsold and empty as of late 2025. And by some industry estimates, when you layer in the broader resale condo listings piling up on the MLS, you're looking at over 5,000 units sitting on a market with nobody buying them. In January 2026 alone, only 554 condos sold in all of Metro Vancouver. That's a 34.5% drop compared to the same month last year. And here's the thing that should stop you. The last time developer-held inventory was this high was 24 years ago. This is not a small blip. Something has genuinely shifted. And today we're going to break down exactly what happened, why it happened, and what it actually means for buyers, sellers, and everyone watching this market. Let's start with the most important number right now. In January 2026, Metro Vancouver had 12,628 total active listings across all property types on the MLS. That's up nearly 10% from January 2025, and it sits 38% above the typical seasonal average for this time of year. 38% above normal. That's not slightly elevated. That's a completely different market than what people were used to. And the condo side of that is where things get really interesting. Condos are supposed to be the most liquid, the easiest thing to sell in Vancouver. They're the entry point. First-time buyers, young professionals, investors, condos are what drive this market. But right now, they're just sitting. So how did this happen? To understand it, you have to go back to how these buildings got built in the first place. For years, roughly from the early 2000s all the way through 2022, developers in Metro Vancouver had a reliable playbook. They'd announce a project. They'd sell 70% or more of the units before construction even started. Those pre-sales were mostly going to investors, not people planning to actually live there. At peak, investors made up close to 50% of all condo buyers in this market. That model worked perfectly when prices were rising every year, because investors expected to rent the unit out or flip it for a profit at completion. Then March 2022 happened. Interest rates started climbing. The Bank of Canada hiked rates aggressively, and investors started doing math they didn't like. Borrowing costs went up. Rental cash flow tightened. The assumption that prices would keep rising stopped feeling safe. And one by one, investors stepped back. Greg Zayati, the president of Vancouver-based development company Rennie, put it this way. He said the market had a really good 20 years, and then it got very real very fast. Today, investors account for roughly 7% of condo buyers. They went from half the market to almost nothing. And all those buildings that were designed and sized and laid out specifically for investors, they're done being built now. They're completing, and nobody wants to buy them. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough, and it actually explains a big part of why these condos are sitting empty, even in a city where people desperately need housing. A lot of these new units were built for investors, not for people to live in. What does that actually mean? It means small. We're talking 450 to 500 square feet. No parking. Odd layouts. Designed to hit a certain price per square foot that made sense on a spreadsheet, not a floor plan a real family or even a single person would actually enjoy living in. Oleg Galyuk, a real estate agent with Royal Pacific Realty who's been dealing with this directly, said it plainly in an interview. He said right now a lot of condos are coming online that people don't really want to live in. And he's right. Because while those small investor-focused units are sitting empty, older condos, the ones with proper layouts, actual parking, and real storage, are selling faster. Greg Zayati from Rennie made the same point. He said people spending $800,000 on a condo don't want 450 or 500 square feet. Buyers today want 800 to 1,500 square feet for that price range. There's a complete mismatch between what got built and what people actually need. And because developers can't sell these units, they're now throwing in everything they can think of to move them. Free parking stalls, free storage lockers, cash rebates at closing. Some developers are reportedly giving buyers their deposits back entirely because they can't hit the pre-sale targets they need to secure construction financing. Others have started laying off staff. Some have gone into receivership. And McMullen, the CEO of the Urban Development Institute, said something that really captures this moment. She said, "You're not going to build to lose money. And right now, the math doesn't work for anyone." Before we get into what this means for buyers and sellers right now, if you're following the Vancouver market or Canadian real estate more broadly, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We break down the data every week. No noise, just what's actually happening. Okay, so we've talked about too much supply. But the other side of this is that demand has genuinely weakened, and for reasons that go beyond just interest rates. First, let's talk about population. For the first time in modern Canadian history, population growth has actually stalled going into 2026. The federal government tightened immigration targets. International student caps came in. Fewer temporary workers are arriving. For a city like Vancouver, where international demand was always seen as a floor under the market, this is a real change. Second, the psychology of buyers has flipped. For over a decade, buying in Vancouver felt urgent. You delayed and you missed out. That mindset kept demand artificially high because buyers weren't just buying a home, they were scared of being priced out forever. That feeling is gone right now. Buyers in early 2026 are watching prices soften. They're seeing inventory pile up. They're in no rush. And a buyer who's not in a rush is a completely different negotiation. Third, the sales numbers are telling the full story. In all of 2025, Metro Vancouver recorded just 23,800 home sales. That's a 10% drop from 2024 and 25% below the 10-year annual average of 31,625. Analysts at WOWA are calling it the lowest annual sales total in over 2 decades. And January 2026 started even slower. Total sales came in at just 1,107 homes across all property types, down 28.7% from January 2025 and 30.9% below the 10-year seasonal average. The sales-to-active listings ratio sat at 9.1%. For context, when that ratio falls below 12%, it generally signals downward price pressure. We're well below that line. The mortgage rate picture has improved a little. You could get a 5-year variable rate around 3.54% as of mid-January 2026, which is meaningfully lower than it was a year ago. But cheaper borrowing hasn't been enough to pull buyers off the sidelines, because the bigger issue isn't the rate. It's that people don't trust that now is the right time. And when buyers don't trust the timing, they wait. So let's get into what all of this actually means for real people making real decisions. If you're a buyer, especially a first-time buyer, this is the most choice you've had in years. Active listings are sitting 38% above their seasonal average. The benchmark price for condos dropped to $704,600 in January 2026, down 5.9% year over year. Developers are offering concessions. Sellers are negotiating. The tone has shifted from sellers having all the power to buyers having actual room to negotiate. That doesn't mean prices are at the bottom. Nobody knows that. But the environment for buyers is genuinely different from 2021 or 2022. If you're a seller right now, you're dealing with a different reality. The days of listing and getting 5 offers in a week are not what most people are experiencing in this market. Inventory is high. Buyers are cautious. The condo segment in particular, which covers the largest number of units in Vancouver, is seeing real pressure. If you need to sell, pricing correctly from day one matters more than it has in years. Overpricing in this environment means sitting on the market, which makes buyers even more skeptical. For the broader market, the bigger concern right now is what happens next. Because while buyers have more options today, developers are pulling back hard. Many planned condo projects have been paused or canceled. Some towers are being converted to purpose-built rentals instead. New construction starts are slowing. That means the supply coming in 2027 and 2028 could be significantly lower. GVR's Director of Economics, Andrew Leese, said it himself. The market is slowly evolving toward what may be a new normal, and the question of whether pent-up demand comes back in 2026 remains wide open. So here's where we are. Roughly 2,500 to 3,500 brand new condos sitting empty across Metro Vancouver, developer held and unsold. Total active condo inventory, well above seasonal norms. Sales at a 20-year low. Investors gone. Buyers cautious. And developers pulling back on new projects just as the current wave of supply is still being absorbed. This market isn't collapsing overnight, but it's not the same market it was 3 years ago either. The numbers are clear on that. Homeowners, renters, buyers, and investors are all watching the same situation unfold right now. And the next 6 months are going to tell us a lot about where this goes. If you found this useful, drop a comment with what you want us to cover next, whether it's detached home inventory, the rental market, or what's happening in specific neighborhoods. We read them all. See you in the next one.